So yeah, Sons of Anarchy was a TV show, but was it all make-believe? What if I told you some of the men that were on screen were real Hells Angels? Patched in, respected, feared. These weren't actors playing bikers. These were actual one percenters bringing the outlaw world into your living room. Chapter presidents, nomads, men who have done time and lived by the patch. The question is, how many did you catch? Who was real? And how deep did their influence go? Behind the scenes, we're about to break down every real Hells Angel who rode through Sons of Anarchy. Let's get into it.
We run the night. We run the night. Run.
David Labrava. David Labrava wasn't just playing a role in Sons of Anarchy. He lived that life. Before he ever stepped foot on a set, David Labrava was a patch member of the Oakland chapter, born in Miami, Florida, and raised in California. Labrava was deeply rooted in the outlaw biker lifestyle long before Hollywood came calling. Originally, Labrava was brought on to Sons of Anarchy not as an actor, but as a technical advisor. Kurt Sutter, the show's creator, wanted the series to reflect the real outlaw MC world as closely as possible, and Labrava's first-hand experience made him the perfect consultant. But that wasn't where the contribution stopped. David eventually got cast as Happy Loman, the club's cold-blooded enforcer with a sadistic streak and a body count to match. Despite having no prior acting experience, Labrava's raw authenticity stole scenes and fans noticed. His character quickly became a fan favorite, and over the course of the show, Happy patched in the SAMCRO and took over an even larger role. But behind the scenes, Labrava wasn't just writing and acting. He co-wrote season 4, episode 10, titled Hands, which is widely considered one of the most emotional and pivotal episodes in the entire series. It was a moment where he showed he wasn't just a biker playing a role. He was a real storyteller who could bring heart and darkness from the outlaw world to the screen. Labrava has always kept it real about his past, his mental health struggles, and his connection to the MC lifestyle. He even published a memoir called Becoming a Son, where he opens up about his life in and out of the club. But when you see David Labrava on screen as Happy, you're not watching an actor pretend. You're watching a real outlaw in his element. Sonny Barger. Sonny Barger wasn't just a character on Sons of Anarchy. He's a legend in outlaw MC culture. He was the real deal. The man who helped build the Hells Angels motorcycle club into a worldwide powerhouse, and the one who defined what it truly means to live by the patch. Born Ralph Hubert Barger in 1938 in Modesto, California, Sonny joined the Hells Angels in the late 1950s and helped establish the Oakland chapter in 1957. While he didn't found the club himself, earlier chapters like San Bernardino were already active. His Oakland chapter quickly became the most influential in the country. Under Barger's leadership, the Oakland chapter became the nerve center of the Hells Angels national operations. Many viewed it as the unofficial mother chapter, not by origin, but by dominance. Sonny's leadership wasn't just about rank. He had vision. He unified scattered chapters, introduced structure, and turned the Hells Angels into a brand recognized around the world. His name became synonymous with the 1%er lifestyle. But Sonny didn't stop at the streets. He took his outlaw persona into Hollywood. In the late 1960s and early 70s, Barger appeared in several biker exploitation films. He starred in the Hells Angels on Wheels, 1967, alongside Jack Nicholson, Hells Angels 69, and other cult classics like Angels, Hard as They Come, and Run Angel Run. And Sonny wasn't just playing a role, he was playing himself. Years later, in Sons of Anarchy, Sonny made a surprise appearance as Lenny the Pimp Janowitz, a first-9 founding member of SAMCRO. He appeared in multiple episodes, always behind prison bars, dropping OG wisdom, and make no mistake, Sonny Barger didn't just influence Sons of Anarchy. The entire premise of the show owes its roots to the culture Barger helped build. Kurt Sutter, the show's creator, openly admitted that Sons of Anarchy was inspired by the Hells Angels and the mythology built around them. Outside of film and television, Sonny was a best-selling author, writing memoirs and guidebooks like Hells Angel, The Life and Times of Sonny Barger, Freedom, Credos from the Road, and Dead in 5 Heartbeats. He laid out his life, his prison time, his fights with the government, his views on loyalty and betrayal. Through it all, he never backed down, never flipped, and never let anyone define him. Until his death, Sonny Barger remained a symbol of rebellion, brotherhood, and living by your own code. So when you saw Lenny the Pimp on that prison bench in Sons of Anarchy, you weren't watching a fictional character. You were looking at the blueprint. Chuck Zito. Chuck Zito isn't just a tough guy on screen. He's one in real life. A former Hells Angel, bodyguard, stuntman, actor, and maybe the man who should have got the credit for creating Sons of Anarchy in the first place. Born in the Bronx, New York, Zito grew up surrounded by boxing, street codes, and hard lessons. His father was a professional fighter, and Chuck followed right behind him, becoming a licensed boxing trainer and launching a bodyguard business that catered to stars like Mike Tyson, Sylvester Stallone, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. But the glitz didn't stop him from diving headfirst into the outlaw world. Chuck Zito became a patch member of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, joining the New York Nomads chapter. He wasn't just someone pretending to be about the life. He was in it, deep. While still in the MC, Chuck started doing stunt work and acting, appearing in movies like Hudson Hawk, 15 Minutes, The Rock, and others. He made a name for himself in the acting world as someone who brought raw intensity and real-life experience to every role. His big TV breakout came with HBO's Oz, where he played Chucky Pacamo, a prison gangster with heavy hands and zero tolerance for disrespect. But his biggest controversy didn't happen in front of camera, it happened behind the scenes. Years before Sons of Anarchy hit FX, Chuck Zito pitched his own outlaw biker series to Hollywood. He claimed he brought the idea to HBO and other networks based on his life and experience inside the Hells Angels. He says it was supposed to be the first gritty, authentic biker show on TV, and that the entertainment industry stole it from him. In 2010, Chuck filed a $5 million lawsuit against FX Networks, claiming that Sons of Anarchy was based on a show he originally pitched. The lawsuit argued that Kurt Sutter's hit series was a ripoff of Chuck's idea, a show centered around outlaw bikers, club politics, internal drama, and law enforcement pressure, all drawn from Zito's real-life experiences. While the case was eventually dismissed, it stirred major debate in the entertainment and MC world. Was Sons of Anarchy inspired by Chuck Zito's pitch? Did FX and Sutter take notes from a real outlaw story and leave him out the credits? We may never know for sure, but Chuck stood his ground and never backed off that claim. Despite the lawsuit, Chuck still made his way onto Sons of Anarchy, but not in the way you would expect. In season 5, he was cast as Frankie Diamonds, a nomad patched into SAMCRO. His performance was ruthless, believable, and dark, and fans felt the weight of it. Because Zito's presence added some real outlaw energy to the scene, he brought the streets, the patch, and the pain to Hollywood, and made sure Sons of Anarchy wasn't just another scripted show. Even if he wasn't credited as the creator, his fingerprints were all over the outlaw biker genre. Chuck Zito walked away from the Hells Angels years ago. He's one of the few who made it out and still earned respect on both sides. Whether you believe the lawsuit or not, one thing is clear. Sons of Anarchy may never have existed without the groundwork laid by people like Chuck Zito. Real quick, if you enjoy MC culture content, smash the like and the subscribe button. Give me a pound wherever you're from and get your Ghostavelli mask, shades, Demons Row snapbacks in all colors, tank tops, crew necks, track races. We got it all, and you can get it on www.demonsrow.com. Let's get back into it. Rusty Coons. When Sons of Anarchy needed someone who could walk, talk, and ride like a real outlaw, they brought in a man who lived it. Rusty Coons wasn't just another actor on the set. He was a Hells Angels Motorcycle Club member and a chapter founder. His presence on the show was pure authenticity. Let's start with the facts. Rusty Coons is the founding member and former president of the Hells Angels San Fernando Valley chapter in California. He later became president of the Orange County chapter, giving him serious weight in the club, both in SoCal and across the Hells Angels network. This wasn't just a symbolic leadership either. Rusty was deeply involved in MC culture and has been widely respected among 1%er circles for decades. Before the TV cameras ever caught up with him, Rusty was already known in the custom bike world. He founded Illusion Motorsports, a high-end custom motorcycle shop. His bikes weren't just flashy, they were built by someone who understood the culture from the inside out. But Rusty wasn't just a builder, he had presence, that outlaw look, that deep voice, that stare that told you everything without saying a word. So when Sons of Anarchy was looking for a real one, they called Rusty. He appeared in Sons of Anarchy as Rane Quinn, a nomad who eventually patches in the SAMCRO. Rane's character is introduced as a quiet but heavy-hitting presence. His appearance on the show wasn't just a cameo. He had real screen time and patched in during the chaotic transition for the club. The wild part, that wasn't acting. Rusty brought his real 1% experience to the screen. And Rusty's involvement didn't end with Sons of Anarchy. He went on to appear in Mayans MT, the Sons spinoff, reprising his role as Rane Quinn. Outside of TV, Rusty Coons is also a musician. He's the guitarist and vocalist for the metal band Attica 7, which he formed with other heavyweights from the hardcore and metal scenes. The band's sound matches his lifestyle, loud, dark, unapologetic, and rebellious to the core. His story is one of survival, transformation, and staying true to the outlaw code without ever compromising who he is. In a world full of actors playing bikers, Rusty Coons was the real outlaw in the room. He brought MC culture straight into the prime time. No filter, no sugarcoating, just raw authenticity. So when you saw Rane Quinn patch in the SAMCRO, you know this. It wasn't just a storyline, it was recognition. So while most of the fans that watched Sons of Anarchy thinking it was just a Hollywood fiction, some of us knew better. Real Hells Angels weren't just advising, they were on screen. Presidents, nomads, lifers, but it didn't stop there. One Down MC, other clubs behind the scenes, Vagos, Mongols, members that made quiet appearances riding in the background, keeping it authentic without ever showing their colors. On another note, I want to talk about something that I just went through, and I value your opinions because I look at you as family. So let me know what you think in the comments. When you do an interview, are you supposed to just tell them your life? Because I'm the type of person, like, if I get asked a question, I just say, like, look, this is what I went through. This is how my life was. Should I not talk about the things that I went through because it's a bad example for the young ones? Or is it something good that they can learn from? I just always, the way people spin things to get clicks, it makes it tough sometimes. I did an interview with this channel called The Connect, and it's a huge channel, 1.3 million subscribers. I'll link the other video down in the description. I was just really upset about the packaging and the way it was made out to look. I never want to put it out there like the things I did in the past were like cool, and I'm like earning stripes for doing negativity or doing jail time or whatever. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is it okay to talk about your life, or sometimes it's better to not talk about it at all because it breeds negativity? And I appreciate y'all for getting me to this 800K subscribers. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Help us to get to 1 million. And thank you for tuning in to Demons Road TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. No, yeah, we ghosting, baby.
Ooh.